How are you, my friend?
All right, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Is that a painting on your wall? It's beautiful. The colors are lovely.
There's loads of shit around here. There's loads of paintings up. It's just people just put shit up wherever they want. But yeah, it's all right.
Fair enough. At least they're putting good shit up and not ugly shit up. Well, congratulations. The album is out. I mean, I've never made an album. Certainly not one of this magnitude, but it's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's nice that it's out, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a weight off. I've had kind of 2 years straight of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even really have not a break, but like any kind of spiritual reset or anything when I made the last record, because I was I was waking up the day it woke up with a day it came out with another record to make. So since then it's just been a lot, but it's been it's what I wanted. So it's been crazy. It's amazing, but like now I can chill a little bit because I don't really do that very much,
Tell me what that means when you say you put one record out and then you wake up the next day with another one. Is that just you and your own brain, creativity, whatever?
That is me. I mean, that's where the idea. Well, so like this whole 2 albums era thing where we did A Brief Inquiry and then we followed it immediately with Notes in a Conditional Form. That comes from that place, of just like needing to, I don't know, be happy with myself. Do you know what I mean? Like creatively, like, because I'm kind of the one I really need to impress first, and then it's kind of late. Everything else is secondary. So I suppose like if I'm not doing that, I struggle. But literally though, like the 4th album was to follow the 3rd one so quickly, and we didn't like save anything. We didn't like go, let's keep a good song so we in case we don't write one, so it was like as soon as that record came out, everyone else was kind of being retrospective and looking backwards, and the only option we had was to kind of just move forwards. So there was almost a sadness to that at times, like it's not like we go out, we're not like partying, we socialize, but we don't really go out. But I think like A Brief Inquiry, there wasn't really even any celebration really, but that's just the way that it was.
It's almost like the universe has delivered for you. I mean, it's so different this time. You put an album out and then what can you do? Nothing. Stay home. Are you gonna, I know you just have to promo and stuff, which is weird in itself, given that you say so much on an album and then you're expected to keep talking about it, which is strange. But how will it differ this time, given that, the world is looking the way it's looking? Will there be a difference? Will you have a time to reset and reflect and recharge?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's very physically different. Like it's much better for me as a human, as a physical entity with energy and mood, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Being on tour and making a record is difficult, just because you don't get to choose what mood you're in really ever, because you have like adrenaline and then you have tiredness, and so it's kind of so it is nice now. I mean, the record coming out in this context, I would never wish for this context at all. It's the worst thing that's ever happened, maybe, to our generation. But it's fitting in a macabre way, the record is very much a record written just before this happened, and it feels like that. Those questions, can we sustain on a personal and social level? That's kind of like the big question, really. Like, can I keep doing the same thing? Can we keep doing the same thing? It's like it's kind of be answered for us. Do you know what I mean? So the record kind of feels like justified a bit,
Yeah, I understand. And I know that questioning and that reckoning will always continue as people, as someone like you or someone like me. It's what we do. And when we look at the world now and how quickly it is changing, disappointing us, how much truth is being revealed to us, especially in the UK at the moment, as we can kind of see from over here. Do you feel like that is going to continue to come out in your work now? Are you already at a point now where you're like, fuck, there's more for me to process and say? Or will there be a time of, no, I'm still doing this album thing, and then I'll kind of get it out of me? Can you help it? Can you turn it off and say, I'll get to songwriting in a month or two?
No, I need to remind myself that if I write stuff down, I'm good at remembering it. Like just the ceremony of writing it down, like going back through my notes can almost be like me going back and remembering notes that I've taken.
Oh, cool.
That's kind of the thing that I try and do to try and to alleviate the anxiety that comes with the immediacy of an idea, because it like you don't really sit, well, I feel like one doesn't really sit down like you would do at a job and just come up with ideas. It's a bit more fling, so it's more about catching it. And I think that you can get into a routine of that being almost like stressful, because you feel like, fuck, like I need to do it now, otherwise it won't happen.
Or to leave,
if you
and
can
I can't
learn
get it back.
yeah, exactly. If you learn how to grab it and capture it. So that's kind of one of the things that I'm thinking, like, yeah, it's quite obvious to me that we're in a new world, and I only feel all right with myself when my current statement is kind of representative of where we are. So I'll have to make a new record anyway. But I think that there's a very reactive sense at the moment where art or things that are being made or about this, it's kind of about the mourning of an old world and about being in lockdown, and it's all about kind of like this change, whereas I think that it would be more appropriate to live in this new world, experience it, and then write about that experience, as opposed to write about the thing that we can all see right now. I think that good art kind of reveals things that we can't see, and I think that in order to know what they are, I need to kind of live, because that
makes sense to me. Do you reckon you'll ever be able to, will you ever be able to stop? Like, it seems to me, just talking to you now, that so much of what you believe and feel and how you represent it is in the way you feel about the world and how you put that out. Will there be a time, like, when can you stop that if it's so closely linked to you?
Well, it's not really about, it's quite nice. I think that the reason that my records work now is because they're about me, because that's kind of that's like my context. That's where that's the vessel through which I deliver all these ideas, per inward and outward. But it's not really for me. It's not really about me. It's not, I don't need to have me out there making sure that people know how I feel about stuff. I just need to be making music that makes me feel good about me. Doesn't have to even be my music. Like producing someone else's album, like working on stuff that I find really inspiring. Like that's all I'm gonna do. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not important for me to make sure people know what Matt Healy fucking thinks about something. Do you know what I mean? That's just not important. Like it's, if the 1975 is gonna make an album, like we can't, like I don't know, it's just all the things that are in there are what we talk about and what we experience. So it's just what's there. But it's never about, God, I need to make sure that people don't think that I'm out of touch, or I
understand. And speaking of the boys, one of my favorite songs on this album is Guys, and what a beautiful way to finish an album. We don't often get that sort of an insight into a band or a relationship between the people that are making the music. It's generally about, one person will sing about a partner or a family member, but this is beautiful. Tell me about, when this song first when you caught the idea and brought it close.
Well, the idea has been something that I've just never been able to capture in music. There's always been quite a I don't know, what's the word? A reluctance. There's always been quite a platonic male intimacy in our band, and there's always been a reluctance to not share that, So, you know, it's quite like masculine, you know, it's like sexy or masculine or whatever. Like, I mean, basically, like every time we do an album, like the only posters that are available of us are photos of us hugging each other, like quite tenderly.
Yeah.
Like each time we've done a record, kind of the past 3 records, there's been like, that's been kind of the photo of the record. And Guys was just me finally putting that into a song. Do you know what I mean? Like we've done it visually so much. We're very tactile. We're quite intimate with each other. And yeah, that song just kind of is like, oh yeah, that's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like when I say like that we have safety and we have consistency and we kind of like, we have like a truth and a constant that is our kind of love for each other. It's not something to be, you know, ashamed of or kind of like no homo about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just that, you know, it's important. And I think that also like people were like, oh, well, were the guys all like, was it really emotional when you played at them,
Like
or
you
was it?
walked in,
It was like it was,
boys,
but it was
I
more
have
like,
something to play for you. Sit down and prepare to weep.
yeah, exactly. But it was more like, you know, we're all like professional, like we all kind of, I don't know, we're in the emotions game. Like that's what
Yeah.
we do. We all kind of understand emotions for a job. So like when I present that idea, everyone didn't get like bashful. Everyone's like, that's fucking cool, man. Yeah, there isn't that many songs like that. That's dope. Let's lean into that. So yeah, so it was kind of, and it was like this nice little looking back moment at the end of the record, you know.
It's beautiful, mate. It's so beautiful. I love the album. Obviously, we love you. Australia loves you. And we can't wait to have you come back soon. Hopefully,
Yeah.
healthy and well. And yeah, I'm really happy for you. Enjoy some rest and yeah,
Thanks so much.
take care of yourself, mate.
Take care. See you later.
Bye, matey.
Bye. Bye. See you in a bit. Thanks so much.